IRA calculation errors. This is interesting. One of y'all had sent this to me, so kudos to you. Blessings, my son, blessings. 5 things that people get wrong about retirement arithmetic, says William Baldwin over at Forbes. All right, and look, lately I don't trust Forbes as far as I could kick them, but I do follow some certain people, so Baldwin's a good guy. So there's something about retirement that leaves investors in an arithmetic fog. Maybe it's the marginal tax rate or the compounding or the deferral that gets their numbers all jumbled. Here are 5 things that people usually get wrong about IRAs and 401ks, and because generally they're getting bad advice. Bad advice number 1, your tax rate will be lower in retirement. It probably won't. 5 factors will keep your tax bracket higher in coming decades. The federal government is spending money at a furious pace and will eventually run out of rich people to soak. States are in sick shape and will be raising taxes. The tax code tends to phase out deductions and exemptions with the side effect of magnifying marginal tax rates for taxpayers at the phase-out rates. The problem will get worse. Congress needs those phase-outs to pay for the goodies. The bracket creep will perhaps begin with a revival of the rate-boosting peace and personal exemption rules in effect before 2018. Medicare premiums are set in a way that surtaxes retirees' incomes. Kind of. The cutoff points for taxation of investment income and Social Security benefits are not just adjusted for inflation. So over the years, you could get pushed from a low tax region into a high tax one. Surprised he doesn't talk about the difference between married filing jointly and single taxpayer too. Unless circumstances dictate otherwise, for example, you plan to move from California to Texas, make the neutral assumption that your marginal tax rate will stay put. I think you should make the assumption your tax rates will go up. Bad advice number 2. If you are temporarily in a lower tax bracket, you should take extra money from your IRA. The following nonsense is being published by a CPA firm. If you're a senior, withdraw money from your traditional IRA sooner and faster than is necessary to comply with the required minimum district rule faster than is necessary to comply with the RMDs. That way you pay taxes now at rates that may look low a few years later. No, if you're temporary in a low tax bracket, don't make an extra withdrawal. Instead, move that pre-tax money to a Roth. Okay, it's 6 in one hand, half dozen the other, man. Come on. It depends on what we're trying to accomplish. Both people are right here. That's just. Bad advice 3. IRA turn capital gains into ordinary income. No, they don't, but it's easy to get tripped up here. Capital gains do pile up inside the account, and all withdrawals are taxed as ordinary income in IRAs. But what's really going on? Say you're in a 30% tax bracket, your IRA has a balance of $100,000, and you think this money is yours. It isn't. The truth is you have $70,000 in the account, and you're acting as a custodian for $30,000 of government funds. Suppose that capital gains, dividends, and interest double the account, then your balance is $200,000, but really your $70,000 has only doubled to $140,000, and the tax collectors has also doubled. Which is to say, your $70,000 enjoys $70,000 of investment gains, all untaxed. Your rate on the dividends was 0%. I don't get it, man. All right, so you have $100,000, $70,000 is yours, $30,000 is the government. Okay. Now your account grows to $200,000. Your $70,000 is $140,000, but the government is at $60,000. All right, which is say that your $70,000 has enjoyed $70,000 of investment gains, all untaxed. Your rate tax on the dividends was 0 and the interest 0, and the capital gains 0. I don't understand that, man. But I quarrel with the bad advice is not really semantic. How is your $70,000 has enjoyed $70,000 of investment gains, all untaxed? That doesn't make any sense. It's not untaxed. I don't. That doesn't. I don't understand that. You're. Okay. Oh, okay, I see. Because he's saying 140,000 is yours, but 60,000 is the government, so 140,000 is still yours. So it'll be tax free if that. This is. Okay, but if you had $100,000 and growing at 0 to 15%, it would be worth $180,000. I'm just throwing that out there. My quarrel with the bad advice is not really semantic. There are people who underfund their 401ks, that's me, figuring they can buy stocks outside the plan and pay favorable on capital gains. When they do that, they're paying tax. They don't have to pay tax. That's bizarre. All right, the 3.8% bad advice 4. The 3.8% surtax doesn't apply to IRAs. Another easy mistake to make. Yeah, it doesn't apply to IRAs. It applies to the income you receive from the IRAs potentially. Obamacare tax is levied on dividends, interest, and capital gains earned outside retirement accounts. It ostensibly does not apply to either IRA withdrawals or conversions of IRA money to Roth. But look at the formula. The tax on the lesser of investment income or the amount by which all income exceeds $250. If you have $200,000 from a salary and $30,000 from dividends, there is no surtax. Throw in $50,000 Roth conversions and the dividends gets taxed. In effect, $30,000 of the $50,000 gets hit with a 3.8%. All right. Bad advice 5. It's easy to be an IRA millionaire. Typical mischief of this sort of calculation published a year ago, declaring that if you start at age 30 and put a mere $49.25 into the account, you'll get to $1 million by the time you're 67, assuming an 8% annual return. The return expectation is preposterous. What matters, of course, is not nominal returns, what you see in your brokerage statement, but real ones, growth and spending power. A reasonable expectation for the real return on stocks over the next several decades is more like 3%. Oh, I mean, this is semantics, man. It's just, all right, 3% above, I mean, real return means above inflation. So, yeah, I don't have any qualm with that. I mean, he says the real rate of return, that's too low for me. 8% is too high for me, so I split the difference, but come on. So, actually, what I'm using, I'm using about 4% real return. Yes, stocks have done way better than that over the past 40 years, blah, blah, blah. Stocks have done well since 1981 because they went from trading at a very low multiple of earnings and trading at a very high multiple. Same thing with global warming. If you started in 1979, well, yeah, because the multiples were quite low relative to the temperature at the end of 1979. Even if multiples remain at their lofty level, they're bad news for investors. They dictate that a dollar put in today commands nearly 3 cents of corporate earnings. And it's that 3% return that determines how fast stock prices compound. Okay. Let's use a 3% return, put in $19,500 a year, and you'll get to $1 million in 31 years. All right, that's so he's just saying basically I challenge the idea of an 8% rate of return. Savers usually throw in a few bonds in the mix, especially as they get older. The cautious stance lowers expected returns. You don't have to guess what the real return of a safe treasury bond will be. You can look it up. -2%. Negative 0.02%. With some of these things in your account, you'll earn less than 3% overall. You have to put more than $19,500 a year in. Now, that's just a weird article. It seems like a guy who needed to write something, and he said, there's 5 things I can easily pick apart. Some of that I agree with. It's just, weird. All right, I'll let you figure that one out. We'll see ya.